When you die, who are you going to miss the most? I think some common answers might be loved ones, right? Great friends, right? Your partner, your parents, your siblings, right? The people you're closest to. If when I die, I'm going to miss myself the most. It feels like nobody knows who I truly am to some extent. And it's almost impossible for people to know. People will never get a look into how you perceive the world. Even a little shred, people will never be able to imagine how you perceive the world. Your identity, your perception, your ability to find joy in things unlike other people is so unique. And I think you're never going to be able to see the world how anybody else sees it. And that goes for everybody. It's just never going to happen. Your view of the world and the way you see things is so incredibly special to you. And I think I'm going to miss that the most. Right? It is sad sometimes, but the moments you have with yourself truly are some of the best times I've ever had. Just thinking to myself, just talking with myself, I'm one of my best friends. That's the truth. I think if you're a person who struggles with loving themselves, with having self confidence, with having self belief, then you just need to learn to miss yourself the most when you're gone. Right? Miss all the unique things about you. Miss all the unique special things you do, right? Miss all the conversations you have with yourself. Miss all the good times that happen because of you. Right? You get to have good times and you get to have happiness in your life because you choose to feel happy. You should thank yourself for that. You should thank yourself for having the capacity to have happy thoughts, to be sad, but to also be joyful at times, right? To cry and laugh when it is needed. You need to thank yourself for the capability to do that. And that's the scariest thing. When you go, it's like, yeah, you lose everybody, you lose everything, but you lose yourself. I don't want to lose myself, right? It seems so possible in the mind of a person who is alive that you will be yourself forever, but that's just not true. One day, right, you're just not going to be you anymore. You're not going to be anybody. It's like a sleep that never ends, you know? It's like you're going to lose your consciousness, you're going to lose your being, whoever you are. It's so temporary, but that's what makes you so special. Right? There will never be somebody like you. There has never been anybody like you. Right now, in this short lifespan you have, relative to the time that the earth will exist and that humans will roam, these are the only years that the world will have you. The very unique, special you. The you that only acts like yourself, right? Nobody else is quite like you. That's sad that I will no longer be around. And that sounds a little selfish, but it truly is. And I'm grateful for everything that I do every day. Right? It sounds like I'm kind of talking to myself in like the third person, like I see myself as another person, but truly that's how it is. Right? I believe that you are just a little speck inside of your soul, and that's your real being. But there's so much more to you, right? There's there's your consciousness, right? There's your thoughts, there's your inner monologue if you have one. I feel like they're part of the same system, but not who you truly are, right? They're just kind of systems in place to help who you truly are keep going and keep moving and keep perceiving things in this world, right? Your inner monologue, right? Your brain, your memories, your thoughts, those all serve to just help reinforce the idea of who you are. And so I thank myself for that in a weird third person way. In that I thank myself that is not me, but that every day acts to help me, right? At the end of the day, your body, your organs are not truly you. I feel like that's I feel like you cannot be materialized. That you are such a free form, unstoppable force of nature. I don't think you can be I don't think you can be materialized like that. I don't think you can look at somebody and say that a body or limbs or organs are truly a person, because that's just not how it is, right? It is the thing that makes you up. Or it is the things that help you function day to day, right? And so you do have to thank those parts, right? You have to thank, you have to kind of thank God that he has given you the opportunity to have this body, right? How good or how bad you think it is, right? That he has allowed you to talk and to see and to listen, right? Because all of those things, while they're not really you, I think they do help you on a day-to-day maneuver about the world, right? I think who you truly are is way deep down and is not visible to anybody else's eye, right? I think if you can see a person, what you're just seeing surface level is not truly them. You feel them, right? You feel another human's presence. You feel their emotions. Again, not really them, just helping them portray who they are in a specific moment, right? But you really do. The eyes are the gate, the thing that you can see the soul from. I don't know what they say, the window to the soul. I don't know. But truly that's how it is when you look at a person, right? Their body, their limbs, their eyes, their hair, how they look, how they move. That's not truly them. It's what they are deep down. It's not how they talk, it's what they're saying, right? It's what they do. When I die, I'm definitely going to miss myself the most out of everybody, I feel like. I feel like the times I've had with myself, every time ever. Like, think about that. If you ever thinking about, like, oh, I had such a good time with this friend, I had such a good time with this family member, right? That is true. You did have a good time with those friends. You did have a good time with those family members, but that included yourself. You were 50-50 of that good time, right? If you hung out with a friend and you were like, ah, oh, that was like that was the best night ever. That was like so fun. Half of that was you. Half of that was you. And you have to appreciate that. You have to appreciate sometimes what you do for yourself. I think a lot of people take themselves for granted. A lot of people take everything for granted. They take their loved ones, they take their friends, they take every day, every moment for granted, right? You almost take yourself for granted the most, because I feel like you never really think about that. You never really think about how you truly are your best friend. And you might say, maybe I'm not my best friend. Maybe I don't necessarily like myself, right? I think you need to, one, find some self-confidence, right? Find some love for yourself, because like that's just illogical. But second, I think you need to realize that you do not hate yourself, right? You're kind of doing that. You're doing that to yourself. You're making you hate yourself if you believe that. Because if you believe that you hate yourself, your inner true self is going to reflect that, and then your body, the way you talk, the way you look, the way you move is just going to correspond to that, and you're going to hate all of it, when truly what you are doing, what your body, what your brain, what your heart, what your limbs, what your organs are doing is trying to portray you the best they can, right? It's like you, who you truly are deep down, is like a painting, right? Think about it like this. You are a painting and you are perfect. And this body that you inhabit, and this brain that gives you thoughts, and this heart that keeps blood pumping throughout, right? They're not artists, but their job is to recreate this painting as perfectly as they can so that other people can know who you truly are to the best of their ability, right? And sometimes it's not always perfect. Sometimes the way you look, the way you talk, right, the way you move might not correctly portray you sometimes. But you have to know that you're trying your best. That You only want yourself to succeed. You have to realize that. If you start believing that you hate yourself, right? If you start believing that, right, you dislike things about yourself, then it's just going to compound. You have to believe that you love yourself, and then you will love yourself. You have to believe that you are capable of these things, and then you will be capable of these things. You have to learn to miss yourself the most when you are gone. And it also is weird because I know that when you're gone, that's impossible. You can't miss yourself. You can't really miss anybody. You're not going to be doing anything when you're gone, right? Truly. But it's like, you need to learn to miss yourself. You need to learn to appreciate the good times you have with yourself, right? With everybody else, yes, but with yourself. You need to appreciate that you have been given the opportunity to think these positive thoughts, to do these things you once thought were impossible, right? You need to appreciate that. You need to appreciate what you do for yourself every single day. And that is, no matter how bad it may seem, you get through it. You always do, and you always will. You just need to realize that and believe in that. And once you realize it, it's easy to believe because the evidence is right there. You're looking through the evidence every single day. You just got to believe it. When I die, I'm going to miss myself the most. And that's not in a selfish way. That's completely sincere. And I thank myself. I thank everybody else who has shaped me as a person. I thank my environment for shaping me as a person. But I thank myself for believing in me and helping me through everything, ever. Thank you for watching.